104.1 KRBE. Let's get started. It's the Roula and Ryan Show.
Wake up, fool!
Hey, wake up!
It's about to get all stupid up in here!
Right here.
Featuring Eric.
Eric, he is a bad, bad man.
Special K.
The big red K.
Are you threatening me?
I'm waiting for you.
And Sam.
I am a wuss! I am a wuss!
You've waited long enough. How the heck do you pronounce this woman's name?
Roula. And Ding Dong. Ryan. 104.1 KRBE.
Good morning. Good morning, Houston, Texas. It's Thursday, September 14th of 2023, and it's 6 o'clock on the dot with the whole gang. Roula, Ryan, Eric, Special K, and Sam. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's
it's
go.
Friday Eve. Yay, yay.
I don't know. I was like, if this was last week,
Yeah.
this would be our last day. We'd only have to work 4 days.
Why? We were off last Friday or what?
No, but just I'm
Yeah,
saying like 4
last
days.
Monday was Labor Day.
Oh.
No, wait,
get our
last
4
Monday
days.
was not Labor Day. What was
I
it?
gotcha.
Oh, Labor Day, well, yeah.
Yeah, it was Labor Day?
We had
Okay,
a 4-day week last week.
Next week I got a
Remember, we had that
week.
story that takes you 3 days to recover from a Monday off. So then by the time you get to Friday, you're like,
I have jury
useless
duty
that whole week.
Monday, so I won't be here.
Ooh, Eric.
If I get stuck on a case, I'm going to be so mad.
You're doing your
should be
civic
able to
duty.
But my anxiety
serve
can't
your
handle
fellow man.
I can't concentrate. I cannot sit down.
What happens?
I won't
Because
be
you
able
get
to
a
do it.
fear about like having to go to the bathroom. Like, what happens if you're in the middle of a case? You're a juror, and it's a really long part of the case where they're unveiling all the steps that happened in the murder of this case, and you got to poop. Like, what happens?
I'll never find out because I won't go.
Why does your mind always go to that?
I don't know what it is.
always
It's
got
like
the
I always
poop on
work.
the
Well, in my case is I pee a lot, so like I'm constantly getting up to pee because the prostate cancer thing.
Because
So it's like,
your cancer could probably get you out of it.
Although
So you can't
you're
sit
you're
that long.
admitting now on the air that you're not going to go, that could be used against you in the court of
Yeah.
law.
Yeah,
so
be
you
careful,
could.
Ryan.
No, that you did. You
I'm
you,
going. I just said I'm not
Yeah.
going to be on the case. I'll find a way to get out of it.
You know,
I'll
I
tell
can
him. I'll
tell
say
you-
I'll freak out. You
Oh.
stick me in this room and tell me I have to
I'm
stay here.
claustrophobic. I can't be in this box.
Hell yeah.
put me in the back. I'm gonna freak out and
you
get
know,
my
actually,
stapler.
I'm going to puke all over.
It's an interesting point about bathroom breaks. When I was in court years ago, I was the defendant in a case. 6 guys on the jury. I don't remember anybody ever saying, "Hey, excuse me, I have to go potty."
How about you?
I don't remember
What
that.
if you had to go? It's your case.
I think that your adrenaline is running so insane during a court case. All your body shuts down and you're just sitting there trying to listen.
It's kind of the
I
same
don't
premise.
remember
Like
at all having to go ever to the bathroom.
if you're getting ready to go out for a big night on the town, you kind of want to make sure you take care of all that business before you go out. So
Yeah.
probably do the same before you go to court.
Yeah, with judges and stuff.
I would think so. Hey, what did you
I'll try
play?
and get out. If anyone has any good ideas on how to make it look,
Convincing how you can get out.
You know what kills me about that, Eric?
It's all
Really,
luck,
but
the numbers.
sidebar, with that time that I was being sued by this person that was making up falsities about me, and that's why I was the defendant. But I would think to myself, here we are doing the Roula and Ryan show, and I know on Wednesday I have to go to court and be a defendant. I wonder who is listening right now that has jury duty on Wednesday that has no idea they might get picked for my case, and I can't say a damn thing.
Ooh.
hey,
I remember I would think that every morning driving to court because it was a 3-day trial. I was like, God, who is driving here right now? And they're probably listening to the Roula and Ryan show, and they don't know why I'm not on. And little do they know, they're about to walk into a courtroom where I'm the defendant.
and if they hate you, you're screwed.
Well, good for me. In the jury box,
You know
there were
what I mean?
21 jurors, and the plaintiff's attorney asked, who here in the jury box recognizes the defendant? And 19 hands went up.
Huh.
But how would they?
And all they said was my name.
Oh,
And I
okay.
was like, that's...
You're like,
good,
oh,
right?
it's good.
And
That's a
that's
good
how
thing,
we ended
right?
up with 6 male jurors.
And then they go, how many do you likes her? And the 4 raise their hand. Uh-oh.
Yeah, and then you know what you're up against.
That'd be my luck.
At least you know. I wanted to ask Roula this question. This came in because I know your family, you've got a lot of flight attendants in your family. Yesterday we aired something, or we had a caller on, and she was talking about, she used the word stewardess. And this listener line call came in. It really enraged somebody.
I retired from Southwest Airlines 20 years ago as a flight attendant, and it drives me crazy that your listener said stewardess. Stewardess was in the 60s. We are flight attendants.
She's like, help me, Roula. Explain that.
Well, I mean, I
Explain
don't
it.
have
Just-
my
It's like,
explanation.
when did
as
that
an
go
outsider
away?
is
Like,
I'm
when
not
did
an
he stop?
actual
They just said that. That was from the 60s.
Well, I mean,
No, I remember
think
hearing it
that
in the
really
80s.
it was 90s. It was 90s because I mean, maybe this because 90s to me because my first sister, who's a flight attendant, 'cause I got two of them, became a flight attendant in 1998. So flight attendant came into my vocabulary for me in 1998. I don't remember what I used to say before that, but I've always said FA, flight attendant. You know, she's a safety officer of the sky who happens to have to give you something to drink.
Now, stewardess sounds kind of degrading, doesn't it?
I mean, people
'cause
love their
back in that
titles,
day-
right? Everyone wants a title.
Yeah, I'm a flight
Yes, but-
attendant. I'm actually helping the people.
Roaster
in
last
this
week said
flight.
she was a secretary. Remember, Ryan's like, what? You're
Right,
called
I
a
thought it
secretary?
was office manager now.
Or executive assistant.
Yeah, that's it.
Executive
Because
assistant, yeah.
because back in the day when they started commercial airlines and they had ladies employed for that, it was almost like being a Playboy bunny in the way that, remember how Hugh Hefner, there was such a huge thing about how you had to look as a Playboy bunny. You could not go 1 pound over this. The uniform had to be perfect. You had to talk a certain way. That's what I'm talking about when it was like almost being like a Playboy bunny, because in the 50s and the 60s when commercial air started, you could not be 1 pound over this. They were basically like Barbie dolls. They had to be like Barbie dolls in the sky. It was not about safety officers, even though they were safety officers. It was more like, you're going to fly the friendly skies and there's a beautiful lady who's going to give you a cup of coffee. You know, now it's, hey man, move, get down.
How were the
You know,
planes like in the 60s and 70s for
They had
accidents?
ashtrays
So
in the
big.
arms.
For accidents, though. Like,
Oh.
I wonder if I have to look that up someday. Like, how many accidents happened in the 70s, 80s, 90s?
Compared to
Yeah.
today.
It's always been
Like,
the
'cause-
safest way to travel statistically.
I know, but I mean,
if
just
you
think,
go to the
back then they were starting out, they didn't have like what we have now, the technology.
True.
Right. And Eric, if you go to the Smithsonian, to the Air and Space Museum, they have an entire section on the birth of commercial air.
Cool.
And all the original flight attendant uniform and all the things. And they show you actual caverns of inside planes. There's like, I think 2 of them.
How much room they
One's
had
a
back then?
TWA.
Oh, I bet they had a lot more leg room.
And they were huge. They were huge inside. I went with my husband years ago. We're like, oh my God, look how big this plane was. You know, we're all crammed in like rats.
They must have been heavy seats, though. You know, it looked like a lot went into one of those seats, and the big old thick
Comfortable. I
trays.
bet they're nice.
Yes.
Yeah,
It was
so
like a real fat jumbo
now
jet plane.
you look at how measly the seats are,
And how much you pay for it.
right, how much you pay for it, but they've had to design these seats lighter so they can fit more in there.
Smaller.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
And
like
they can-
sporting events, those seats are terrible, especially up north when you go to when you were in a coat in February, go into like
Where do
a
you put it?
That adds like 2
Bulls
extra
game or
inches.
Penguins
Yeah.
game.
You have to wear a coat because it's so freezing outside.
You got to put on your seat, and then
Actually, that's a great point, Eric. Do they actually allot for that in the outdoor stadiums in the north?
well, outdoor you
Make
want
the
to wear
seats
it.
bigger?
But, no.
I highly
outdoor,
doubt
no.
it. If anything, what I would always do is just fold it up in like a little, like it'd be like my booster seat.
Yeah, you put it on your
Oh, sit on top of it.
Yeah, you just sit on
Yep.
top of it because
Yeah.
you're like, well,
Unless you were wearing it
this
for the
is where I'm
inside.
Old Town?
For the inside, like
Well,
basketball.
sometimes when you're, drinking, getting pumped up, you're
Concerts,
like,
like think about when you go to. We're
You
lucky
take it
when you go to
off.
concerts. 9 times out of 10, it's not that cold out. You can just look nice, go in and
Right.
see
Yeah.
Drake. But if you go see Drake in February in Chicago, you got to
You're wearing a jacket.
Oh,
zip
yeah.
up, and then
yeah.
where you gonna put that? You're trying to dance and you're moving around.
Yeah.
It's a
Especially if
lot.
it's one of those. There's no seats. What do they call
Well,
it?
they have coat check
Bench?
venues in
Or
the
just
north
general
for
admission?
concerts.
Oh, GA, okay.
GA, where you can just I mean bars and that.
I doubt they have a coach.
Bars. We had coat check
I don't
in
know.
Chicago. We'd go to clubs
Yeah, at bars.
I remember
or
that.
clubs. You could go to.
And then you
Yes.
totally forget it.
Yeah, you lose your ticket.
Or when the club closes, everyone's in line. I hated that.
Yeah,
Oh, that
You got to
was
get your
the
jacket.
worst.
it smells like
Oh no,
smoke.
you just drink a lot and then you just freeze yourself. I see all these
Yes.
memes and it's like, what was I thinking? I'm wearing like club dresses
Yes,
with
that's
heels and there's
Yes.
snow on the ground
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like half
Well, 'cause
naked.
you didn't want to do the coat check. You'd leave it in your car, and
Yes.
like, don't park that far from the club.
Run to it.
And then run.
Right.
And
Well,
then
no,
run
but in
100%.
college though, you're walking from house to house. Like we're not driving cars.
That's true. You
So it's like you're just trying to run into everybody's house
But you gotta
real
look
quick.
good.
Yeah, but you have to look good. Stupid.
In Houston, as we try to, hit the exits to get out of the parking garage because it's too, you don't want to get stuck in line. In clubs, when I was living in the Northeast, it was like, get in the coat check lines. We're gonna stuck in here forever. Go get your coat.
Hey, real quick before we end this, someone said, "Oh my God, it's happened to me. I had used the restroom really bad.
Okay.
I had, asked the bailiff
dirty.
for a bathroom break.
While you're a juror.
I had diarrhea. So
Oh, that's something you don't want
someone
to
said
have
if I talk to my doctor and tell them about my anxiety, they'll write me a note.
and get you out of it.
But I don't know. Do I have to go there Monday and hand it to them, or can I go online and put that in there? I don't know.
I think you probably need to be in person.
Let's be clear to the audience that may be newer to the show or doesn't know you as well, Eric. You actually do have that anxiety. You will freak out if you're stuck in a small place, too crowded, and you
Last
can't.
time, like 2 years ago when I was there, I vowed I'll never do this again. I'd rather go to jail.
Oh, you vowed? I thought you said you bowed.
No, I vowed.
What are you bowing to the
after
judge?
this, I was like, this is the worst. I'll never do this again, and here I am. Going again.
But you have no choice because, I mean, you've got to be honest about the anxiety. It's not like you can take a Xanax. They don't want a juror who's under the influence.
Oh, I'm taking one.
No, you can't be a juror if you're on Xanax.
Well, that's their
This
problem.
texter just said, Eric about to get picked for a cartel trial.
I know. Well, you know what side I'm going for. I'm not messing around. Hey, that's that guy from the radio show. We know where he works.
Yeah, they're innocent.
Yep, that's all good. Hell no. I
I don't know what's happening. All right, coming up next in Celebrity Scoop. Remember we were, I played y'all that audio a couple weeks ago where Drew Barrymore was on stage and this guy who has been actively stalking her made it all the way to the stage and they had to whisk her away, all these things. Well, that guy has set his sights on a new celebrity he's going to stalk. We'll give you that story coming up next. Here's your weather for today.
Oh my God, mark the date because it's been a summer. It's been a summer of no rain, drought. We have a 50% chance of rain. And listen to this, the high only 87.
Rained last night.
That's pretty nice because it's been like a week ago, it was 104.
Oh, nice.
How did it feel walking into the building today?
Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Right now it's like 75 degrees.
Is it brisk yet?
No, it's not brisk, but it feels good. 75 degrees right now and 6:11 on the Roula and Ryan Show.
Movies, music, TV, and all things Hollywood.
Roula and Ryan's Celebrity Scoop.
On KRBE.
It is brought to you by Innovative Lasers of Houston. Okay, so a couple weeks ago, I played you some audio of Drew Barrymore on stage doing a talk, and this guy made his way all the way up right to her saying, I need to speak to you. I've been trying to get a hold of you. And they accosted him. Turns out this is like a regular stalker of Drew's who had somehow made his way into this event and got all the way up to the stage. Well, this guy is not quitting, but he has left Drew alone for now. He has set his sights on Emma Watson. You know, from
Hermione from
fame.
Harry Potter.
Yes. At New York's Fashion Week, this guy somehow made it all the way backstage and started hooting and hollering about how he needs to find Emma Watson. He needs to talk to her because he wants her to marry him.
Oh my gosh.
So how many fails happened there where this guy was able to access all those areas, like to get in through the venue, to the backstage, down the corridors, wherever, to the dressing rooms where all the models are, where he thought the celebrities
Well, I'm sure
were,
he's done
without
his
he
homework.
would find her.
Rolla, he's probably done his, if he's this obsessed, he's done his homework. All you have to do is act like you know what you're talking about, look the part, and you can pull off pretty much anything in this life.
Have a clipboard.
Scary.
Yeah, clipboard.
I did that to get on like Warner Brothers lot. I just walked in with my buddy with clipboards. We pretend like we knew what we were doing, and they let us through.
Was it? I was going to say, wasn't that like trending? People were walking into places
ladders?
with ladders.
With a ladder.
Ladders.
Like, those two guys did the
they
ladder.
were just like, oh yeah, we need to fix some
But
stuff.
if this guy's that obsessed, he's going to do his homework and he's going to realize, what do I need to look like? What do I need
lanyard.
to have? A lanyard, yes.
Lanyard.
That's what got me in.
Always wears a lanyard when we go places.
Gets me right
So
through the
speaking
door.
of lanyards, Special K, you know those really make you feel special at concerts. You know, like especially when I was like 14, if I saw somebody with a lanyard, I'm like, "Are you going backstage? Why are you wearing a lanyard?" And then artists got on this bandwagon to sell fake lanyards. Like, this is the VIP lanyard of my fan club.
Yeah, make some
and so if
money.
you're wearing a lanyard, you're extra special at the show.
But it doesn't
gets
get you
nothing.
anything.
That's
You're just
lame.
at you're just wearing the lanyard. And there's actually a story today about how if you feel like you have less money in your bank account, it's because you probably went to a concert this summer.
Yeah.
The most expensive concert ticket, no guesses there, Eras Tour for Taylor Swift. The average ticket sold for $1,051.
Dear God, the
on the
average?
secondary market because most people couldn't get them on the pre-sale.
Oh, yeah.
And the ones who did weren't going to sell them. So average ticket was that. And then you had, let's see, second on the list was Drake. His tickets went for $465. Wow. Usher at $400. Where did Usher play? Kev, where was Usher?
Yeah, I don't even remember Usher
Over
coming to town.
Beyonce? How's that possible?
No, probably Toyota Center.
Yeah, Morgan Wallen was next at $315, and this is all from Game Time Ticket app. That's the source. But yeah, Beyonce, I don't know why she's not on this list because I think that's even more expensive than Taylor.
It has
I mean,
changed
when you're looking at those Beyonce
so
tickets for
much.
her show coming up here, dude, you can't get on that floor for less than almost $2,000 now.
That's what I feel sorry for. Like if you're a teenage kid, like when I was 16 and I was working my little job at Kmart and Walgreens, I could actually get done at the end of the week. I'd have enough money where I could go buy a concert ticket, go to the where Lakewood
Back
Church
in
is
my
now.
day.
No, but I'm
It's not
serious.
work.
Like,
It is back
it was
in my day.
affordable.
Yeah.
I could buy a concert ticket.
How much was a loaf of bread?
Stop it.
I'll never forget.
But I'm saying,
I'm just saying,
if
my-
you
my
are
dream-
16 or 17 now and you've got your your teenage job, you can't really afford to buy a concert ticket on that salary.
Well, guess what, Ryan? Olivia Rodrigo is making it affordable for all her teenage fans.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
As yesterday, we announced that her concert's coming to Houston. Y'all, we are the third stop on this tour. This tour starts on February 23rd and it ends August 14th. We are the third city. So February 27th is a Tuesday night, though. A lot of fans are sad it's a Tuesday school night, but she'll be here on February 27th. And she announced, it's the Guts Tour, by the way.
The Guts.
And she announced that in addition to the regular Ticketmaster sale tickets, she's offering a limited number of $20 tickets. She's calling them the Silver Star tickets.
Oh, nice.
And that's going to be announced at a later date. So, of course, if you follow Olivia Rodrigo, you're going to know when, and we'll tell you too, when that officially happens. Tickets are going to be offered in pairs. You have to limit 2 per purchase. You can't buy more than 2.
That's good. That cuts down
And
on
here's
scalping.
The catch. What's the catch? There's a catch. The catch is the seat locations will vary, and you will not know where they are placed. They
Oh.
won't be revealed until the day of the show
Like
at
Priceline.
the box
Oh, I don't think I
office.
like that.
That might be good though, because maybe you know how
It
they,
could be good.
when they set the stage and they go, "Oh, we got extra
Yeah.
room here. We'll open
Yeah.
these seats up," and she's going to want to give some good ones.
So maybe a couple of lucky fans will get choice seats, but then
Yeah.
you might end
I'm
up
not
with a
saying all of them,
nosebleed.
but I'm just saying
Right.
she's going to make sure she says some good ones because it looks good for her.
Yeah, yeah.
But if that sounds too risky to you, if you're a big fan of Olivia Rodrigo, you are advised to register by September 17th for the regular sale. Because we're talking about her pre-sales and all that stuff. So the Guts Tour, February 27 in Houston, and the Silver Star tickets are $20.
I already registered
2 per purchase.
For who?
My daughter in the middle of school, she texted me, "Hey, dude," she sent me a link. Register
for
for this.
Olivia?
I'm like, "Are you supposed to be in school?"
Yeah, what are you doing here?
So I did the
you have to have the-
registration. My wife did the one for American Express, and then
Do you have to have a special app?
no, it's Ticketmaster.
No, it's
It's-
just all the pre-sale stuff.
we
American
talked about it
Express
yesterday. There was
and
2 of them.
all
There
that.
was a regular one, and then there's the American Express that goes the day before that one.
Dang.
The pre-sale, yeah.
The Guts Tour. Okay, coming up next. Yesterday, we opened up the phones to the HISD teachers specifically to tell us what exactly is going on over there. Because, ever since the TEA took over, the state took over the HISD school district, there were a lot of changes, and we didn't know if they'd be bad or good or what happened and why this happened. And a lot of teachers called in to tell us and texted us and emailed us that they are under such a duress when they work. It's not an enjoyable job anymore. It's very tough on the teachers, administrators, students, all the things. So we have some listener line phone calls we want to play.
Actually,
some
say
real,
this.
some people.
Eye openers, Roula. We have everybody from principals to parents.
We've been
to
doing listener
teachers.
line for a long time, and this is probably the most listener lines we had at one time.
It lit it up.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like
We're gonna let you
so
hear what
many
they
to
had
go
to
through. It
say.
took forever.
And it's a pretty sad situation, unfortunately. We'll hear him next on the Roula and Ryan Show.
Back to the Roula and Ryan Show.
Okay, so there is a huge controversy. Harris County, HISD, the biggest school district in the state of Texas. We do not control it. The state
Was
took it
taken over
over.
by the state last year. When the news came in that HISD is no longer controlled by the superintendent and all the staff that they usually had, and the state came in and trained teachers over the summer. They were one of the last school districts to get back for their first day of school, and we didn't really know what to expect when this news came out last year. We were thinking, okay, well, I don't know, is this a good thing? I mean, this has to happen for a reason, I guess. Let's see how it rolls. And then yesterday we opened the phones to our teachers and administrators to let us know what's going on in your actual school classrooms right now. How is it working? And we got so many people calling and telling us it's a disaster. It's
What
a
we've
disaster.
learned
They wanna
so
quit.
far-
And we also asked, if there's positive stuff, call
Yeah.
us as well.
Yes.
But 9 out of 10, maybe 10 out of 10 were
Not positive at
I didn't-
all.
I'm still waiting for a positive one that says what's happening is good.
And by the way,
Yes.
we would love to extend an open invitation to Mr. Miles if he wants to come on.
He's the head of everything.
Yeah, he's who the state hired to oversee all this. You're welcome to come on this show. We will
While you
give
listen
you
to
the
these-
airwaves.
Except for 7:20 on Thursdays.
Yeah, well, we're not going to bump roses
Not
for you.
doing roses.
Yeah, no offense.
But yes, we do. I mean, look, when we like to see what both sides of the story is. When the firefighters were fighting for their raise, we asked the mayor. Mayor's going to come in and tell us about why is he doing this, and we try and get both sides of the story. So why not talk to him and find out what's going on? And do you know that everyone feels this way? By the way, while we're playing these listener line calls that came in yesterday, I would like to see on text at 37530 if maybe we missed one yesterday where you are working in a school and you think it's going okay. Because we didn't see any of that. So 37530 is our text number.
Everyone knows it's broke.
The system is broken.
Broken.
Yeah. No, they're probably broke with money. No money, too.
Oh, I thought you meant broke with money.
Well, let's just get to the calls. Let's get to the calls. Let's start.
Are you part of the problem, Eric? Is that why they need to change it? Okay, so the listener line number is 713-278-VENT. We got lots of calls there when we were doing this segment yesterday, so let's go with those.
All right, I want to start with an assistant principal. Here we go.
I'm actually an assistant principal in HISD, and I could say that it's equally miserable for those of us that are in the administration as well. So we get directives every night. Sometimes we'll get messages at like 10 p.m. about things that have to be implemented the next day. And the amount of pressure that they put on us so that we can put that on teachers has just been greater than any other year before. One of the biggest things has been constant check-ins with the teachers. And so these teachers are getting observed 4, 5, 6 times a day. And every single time that we observe a teacher, we have a tracker that we have to submit to the main offices, and they keep track of all that data. Honestly, it has been the most demoralizing thing, and we see really, really great teachers on our campus who come to work and are just miserable because of the scripted curriculum. And we were an almost A-rated school last year. We were at an 89. And so it's really sad how things have changed, and really students not wanting to go to class because they are bored. And the teachers are doing their best, but they, of course, have a curriculum to follow. We've seen a lot more behavior concerns with students because of that. We're just trying to make it and see what changes are coming. Thanks, guys. Love you. Been listening to the show for a really long time.
Wow.
Aww.
Wow. That's sad. That's very, very sad.
Okay, well, that's just one of the examples, because some of the teachers calling in yesterday said that, just like she said, they got to get checked on during the class. How menacing is that for the kids that don't know why the strangers walking in to just watch and take notes?
Like, her job is she has to go in there and watch it. She doesn't want to do that.
No.
Right.
I mean, and how difficult is it for you to teach when you've got somebody coming into your classroom and stopping you in the classroom and telling you how to do it in front of the children? So we've got a parent.
Do they stop them, or they just monitor them?
Just monitor.
Do they interrupt them?
Monitor.
I thought those calls
one
said
teacher
yesterday
said
there was an interruption.
Yeah,
Yes.
interruption.
And clarification.
You're like,
They're gonna stop you in the middle. They're going to be like,
Yeah.
wrong.
They have to follow a script.
I believe so.
You said it wrong.
And, we had a teacher saying, we've got students that are at a second grade reading level in fifth grade. So that triggered this call from a parent.
If a student has a second grade reading level, why are they being passed to the next grade to even reach seventh grade? How can we say it's not the teacher's fault? They're the ones passing these students. How are they getting to the next grade and to the next grade if the teachers do not play a role in the fact that these children are failing? I'm sure they're not all to blame, but they do play a factor in this.
Okay, she's not alone in that thought. Yesterday, we had a teacher who's taught for 29 years and said she had a seventh grade student who had a second grade reading level. And Eric said, well, maybe this is why the state had to come in, because that didn't happen in 3 weeks. So, yes, a lot of people had the same thought process as her, like, how does the child get passed?
But
now,
there has to be something
I will say
done.
on the other side is they are always pressured to just get the passing grades because the funding is there. They need the funding. And if they don't look like they have progress, they won't get the funding. And maybe that played a part in it. I don't know. But that's not just
they have a kid in there
the
that's
case.
They're like, I don't want to deal with this kid for another year. I don't want to hold this person back. This kid was awful.
I'm not going to speculate. I really don't know. I'm not a teacher, but we did have a teacher that wanted to talk about the reading level situation.
I agree with the lady from Houston ISD that's been teaching for 29 years. She said she has seventh graders on a second grade reading level. It's not just in Houston. We have third, fourth, and fifth graders that are on a second grade level, can't read, can't write, but they expect them to do third, fourth, and fifth grade work. And then we get in trouble if they're doing something easier than third, fourth, and fifth grade. Just wanted to vent because I feel bad for these Houston ISD teachers, because when you're a teacher, you have your own way of teaching, and that's not how it should be.
Okay.
Someone said Texas is no child left behind state.
That's what
Students
I
move
was
on
thinking.
whether they pass or fail.
Yeah.
And think about it, if a kid knows that, the kid doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in second grade, the kid the kid cares, but they don't know not to care yet. At second grade, if you tell your child, hey, let's work on this, or this is not going well, I have not met look, I'll talk only my personal experience. I'm not a teacher, but like my second graders my children did not have it in their minds yet, developmentally, to be like, I'm not doing anything. I don't need to do anything. In second grade, my kids did not have the developmental level to be combative like that. Yeah. If I told them, like, oh my God, you got a bad grade, we got to talk about this. I don't know. I don't know what they see. I know they see everything. It's crazy.
Okay, next look call. Up to teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one. This is a teacher. She just wants the children to feel safe.
Parent involvement is a big topic right now. As a teacher to those people, I would volunteer. Volunteer at your kid's school. Ask questions. Talk to your kids' teachers like they are professionals and they want the best for your kids. The fact that we assume that it's all teachers, that doesn't make any sense. Volunteers, see what's going on. As a teacher, I feel like I'm an open book. If you have a question, if you want to sit in on my class, I am happy for you to see what happens, how your child behaves or doesn't behave in my class, how I run my classroom. Come on in. My cousin's kids have 2 moms. I want for those kids to be able to go into a classroom and not have another kid make fun of them because my cousin is married to the same gender. I don't want that to happen to any other kid. I want every kid to feel safe and feel loved. I don't care about making them a certain way. I just want people to feel safe. That's all I want as a teacher. Stop acting like we are the enemy when we just want to help and we want to make your kids feel safe.
I like that.
Okay, listen,
that's a good teacher.
That's a great point. And on text regarding, man, now we started a firestorm with the second grade reading level in 7th grade. People are saying, we don't want to pass them. We are forced to pass them. We cannot have, look at this one. She goes, oh no, honey, HISD teacher here for 20 years, over 20 years. We do not pass students who are failing. We are forced to pass students who are failing.
Oh, wow.
See? Well, look at these teachers. They're not going into in that world to be millionaires.
No, they're doing it because they care. They've got a good heart.
They do, but
right.
now you lose. You get paid crap, and you not loving what you do anymore because these people are ruining it for you.
Treated like crap too.
What do you think is going to happen here come May?
I think you're going to see a lot of teachers quit. We did this in the news last week, how they were now accepting teachers without a teaching degree.
Yeah,
because there's such a shortage right now.
Bus drivers, people, they have some teachers taking buses. And remember, we talked to somebody that
I do remember that
teacher had to drive the bus in the morning, then get back to school. And then
wow.
Do we have another listener on caller? Can we go to the calls?
We do have one more. This guy, he's about, because it's a test scores, and this is what he's saying about it.
The test that they're talking about was created by a publishing company. They're basing everything off of that publishing company's test. And I do not believe that any teachers have been consulted on creating the test to even know what the kids are supposed to be learning. So that's all on the standard written by a publishing company who sold the test to the district. The only thing that I regret is that I didn't get the idea first and sell this billion-dollar test to the district, the state, and that's happening all over the nation. I teach an elective class, and in my class, my kids come to school because of my class. And I'll tell you, that's art, choir, theater, and band. And they want to be there because they want to do well in our class. So they're absolutely ridiculous, the state, for coming in and taking over. And I'm not sure if they get a kickback, but every time you do well on the test, everybody in the district, especially the upper top echelon, they make a lot of money because each school did well, and they get a kickback. Of course, they won't call it that. They get a bonus because the kids did well at so many different schools. It's not like this is based on education. It's really based on money. And if you follow the money, then you find out where the problem is.
There you go.
Oh, man. Okay, if you're just tuning into the Roula and Ryan show, we're just playing some listener line calls we got yesterday. We got a huge amount of calls when we were talking to teachers at this moment in yesterday's show about how's it going in HISD since the takeover happened. And we've got people calling the show. I wish Sarah had been able to hold on, but I guess she had to get to class. She said she does see some improvement with the changes. She's a teacher and we wanted to get her point of view, but she had to go to class. Let's see, who should we go to
I wonder
here?
what that improvement was.
I know. I want to know what that is. Lupe wants to make a point about the whole parent involvement thing. Lupe, hi. Welcome to the Roula and Ryan Show.
Hey there. How are you?
Hi. Good morning. Tell us what your point of view is about the parents as from a teacher standpoint.
Well, from a teacher standpoint, I'm a special education teacher, which doesn't necessarily mean life skills like everybody thinks. Special education covers learning disabilities. Dyslexia can get lumped under the special education umbrella. And that's what teachers are having to face as well, is we're bound by these special education laws for we can't fail some of these students who are on a second grade reading level being, pushed through the system. We have to follow these laws. We have to make sure they're getting their accommodation. We have to do all these things and bend over backwards for them.
But Lupe, what's the solution there? As a parent, should I recognize this and say, okay, do I hire a tutor? I mean, what are you seeing from the parent standpoint when they see their kids aren't really improving or progressing?
And parents can't afford a tutor.
Yeah, a lot of people can't.
I will tell you,
I'm just curious. Go ahead.
It has to do a lot of it with the parents. When we have parents who back us, you will see those kids growing. Because as teachers, like you said, we're not in it for the money. We're in here because we love it. We love the kids. We love to see the progress, the growth. But then you have parents like the one who just called in and said it's the teacher's fault. It's who we're fighting. So then you have the kids who hear the parents not backing the teachers.
Yeah.
And those are the kids who come sit in class, know that they're covered under the special education laws, and they sit and do absolutely nothing.
Okay, because the reason I ask about the extra help, I know that in one of my kids was struggling with multiple classes, and the teachers and I had a conference about, how can we help her? And there are, like they said, there's time that they can cut out in the day. I don't know how this works in every district where they can kind of work a little extra with some of the kids that need a little extra help. And I don't know how that changes the dynamic of
some teachers do that on their own, till they get there early. I've had them reach out and say, hey, your daughter's doing this. If you want her, I always get there at 7.
Absolutely. Or even their lunch period. Like a lot of teachers will not take lunch.
They're better teachers.
Just to help
They don't.
the kids.
The funny thing is,
like, no.
You're right.
My ex-wife
insane.
she's a teacher, and she tells me all these stories about how there's never lunch. I don't have time. If I'm lucky, I can
want to help kids
down a power bar in between, but there's no downtime.
She makes a good point.
Finishes at 9 o'clock at night.
She's talking about parents. Think about, because kids do listen to your parents. So when you have homework problems as a parent, you got to make sure you're, watch what you say. Because this is stupid.
Right.
I can't believe your teacher's making you do this. What's this new math? We did this. Or, you know what I mean? If you start being, negative, your kids pick up on that, and they're going to start being disrespectful and learn behavior, and they're going to go to school. And if my parents think it's stupid, then I think it's stupid. Got to remember that as parents.
So I guess the moral of the story here is, parents, we have to get really on top of our kids. Don't think that they're just making it work with the teachers. One of our texters said, as a teacher, you can immediately tell which children in the classroom are being read to at home. They talk about how important reading is to your kids. Even, and I'll tell you, I have failed on that level because I used to read to my kids every single night. Between me and my husband, we tried to read to our kids every single night. And as we had 1 child, 2 children, 3 children, we do not read to our 3rd child the way we read to our 1st child. And then now it's to the point where they're so busy and we're so busy. They're like, did you get your reading done for at least 20 minutes? Did you read for at least 20 minutes?
Go
read for at least 20 minutes. And I put it on them, and I don't sit with them. I just make them read a book that they like. Like my kid loves the Dog Man series. It is not a question to ask him, can you go read Dog Man for 20 minutes? He'll read for an hour if I let him, because he loves those books.
Well,
so what I found is I got to find them books that they really like, and they'll read on their own. But I think reading with them is also helpful, because if they don't know the words, there's I don't know that word, I'll just move over. Yep. You got to read with them because they don't know the word.
We had that teacher on yesterday who said that he loved reading stories to them that they enjoyed, but now the state has come in and he has to follow their script, and the kids are bored.
I wish there was a way too. I wish they had a program where you could send to the parents what they're learning that day. Cause a lot of times I'll get the book and I'll have to go through 20 different 4 chapters trying to find what they're doing, the planes of of Texas. You know what I mean? You're looking like they did a whole thing on Native Americans, and you're trying to look through there. I'm like, this is taking me myself 30 minutes to look. If I knew what you guys were doing, like math, I don't know how to do.
You
math.
say that, and I think that's fantastic. But guess what? A lot of
teachers
people
don't have to do that stuff,
and a lot of times parents don't either. You know, they get home after a 12-hour day
with 2 jobs.
Exactly,
Right.
and it's like, okay, I got to put my kids to bed right now, and that's it. They're ready to drop dead,
and
you don't
gotta
have
ask
that
the
ability.
teachers too, parents. Like, you know, the teachers usually will do a good job at the beginning of the year to tell the parents, hey, here's how you access this. My daughter had some homework thing last night about draw a landscape. And I go, wait, what does the landscape look like in your classroom? Because if you tell me to draw a landscape, that's just draw a landscape. But there must be some kind of parameter she has to follow, because she drew something and the teacher said, well, this is a picture. And I'm like, what does the landscape look like
Especially
in your classroom?
because the kids, you know, are not
Where's
getting the full
program?
They're not giving you the full directions.
Yeah, they're not telling us the full story of where they got the source from.
You're like
so then I gotta go chase it because the teachers are saying, follow this link, follow this page.
Yeah.
Anyway, God bless the teachers. All I gotta say is you got the weight of the world's on your shoulder and the administrators.
We respect,
this
admire
is not
you.
gonna
We
stop
thank
here
you.
on the Roula and Ryan show. We're gonna try and help you out. We're gonna try and see if we can get TA on the show at some point.
I
And
love
give
that
us their
Mike
point of
Miles.
view.
People said if he finds out who's talking on our show, not just our show, but
There are
anywhere,
repercussions.
There could be some problems.
They lash out back.
Yeah.
Well, we would like him to come on
I'd love to see
and let
him.
us know his side of the story and ask some questions and
Come on,
see
Mike.
what the answers are.
Step up, dude.
Questions from the teachers. Mike,
Also-
Mike, it's hump day, Mike. Come on, Mike.
You know-
is it hump day?
Ryan can change your voice if you want it disguised and you want to put some truth out there and you work at one of these schools. Ryan will outright change your voice so that you are not evident.
Yeah, just say it. Say, hey,
Say,
I
hey,
changed
We
my
got
change
whole
my
roses
voice.
where she had an anonymous voice a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
We have the technology to change voices.
Well, speaking of
You can leave
roses-
us a message on the listener line or if you're live on the air. So yeah,
It's coming up next.
Let's do it.
It's time for roses. Find out if your mate's a cheater or not next on the Roula and Ryan show.